Hello everyone, my name is Bade Stapleton and I'm the Managing Director of Connect Sport Australia and also the founder of the Port Douglas Gran Fondo Festival. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the Australian Aboriginal people and the Torres Strait Islander people as the first inhabitants of the nation. We acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which the Port Douglas Gran Fondo Festival will take place, and we pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Now, following an amazing first 2 years, the team and I are so excited to be bringing this festival to life once again, and we thank you for joining us. Our number one priority is safety. I'd like to take you through a number of key things to ensure you really enjoy the day and make it around the course safely. Now, you should all have received an email to let you know that our rider information guide is now available on our website. Now, we won't be providing a printed copy as we're trying to minimise our impact on the environment, especially as we have the Great Barrier Reef right on our doorstep. Now, in this guide, you will find all the information needed to help you prepare for the day, plan your ride, and ensure you have a wonderful day out on your bike. Now, everyone must come to registration to pick up your registration pack prior to the ride. Now, times and locations for registration in Port Douglas and Palm Cove are listed in the rider information guide. Now, inside the envelope that you receive, you'll find your seat post timing number, your helmet sticker, your wristband and bag tag, all with matching numbers to your seat post number. Now, we're providing a bag drop service for the 48 kilometre Medio Fondo riders on Friday afternoon between 4 and 6 and Saturday afternoon between 12 and 5. Simply put your bag tag around the outside of your small bag and drop it to the team at the bag drop tent next to registration. They will check that your wristband matches your bag tag number, so please have your wristband on. Small bags only, because we can have a ton of bags to transfer and no other bags can be dropped off at the same time. So this way you can have a change of clothes, change of shoes, etc. waiting for you when you arrive in Port Douglas. Now, please note that we won't be doing a bag drop on the Sunday morning for the 48k riders. Now, the 136, 160k riders will also have a bag drop service available on the Sunday morning, where you can leave a bag with us before you start the ride. As you arrive, the bag drop will be right next to our start arch on Wharf Street. Now, on Sunday morning, please allow plenty of time, especially if you haven't had the chance to come and pick up your registration pack on Friday or Saturday in Port Douglas or Palm Cove, because you'll need time to put your seat post stickers on, etc. We'd recommend you put on some sunscreen before you start the ride. We'll also have some Pre-Max sunscreen tubes at the start lines and at all the aid stations. Now, we'd encourage you to carry 2 drink bottles on your bike and arrive at the start line with these full. We'll have water and Winners electrolyte available at the start and at all the aid stations. Now, as many of you have travelled up from the cooler climates, it's really important that you stay hydrated throughout the ride. So please drink regularly and drink before you feel thirsty. Now, as you arrive at the start line in Port Douglas or in Palm Cove, look for the large inflatable arch, which is our start line. You will also see signs up along the road with the various estimated speed groups that you were asked to nominate when you were entering. Now, if you just make sure you make your way to those estimated speed areas that you nominated and be in place at your starting point 15 minutes before your nominated start time, because we must start on time. Now, we'll have bike mechanics available at the start areas in both Port Douglas and Palm Cove on Sunday, just in case you need any assistance before the ride begins. Now, you are to be self-reliant out on the road and carry your own spares, but don't stress, we'll also have roving mechanics out on course. So if you need assistance, just please call the emergency hotline, which is on your seat post sticker, and they can assist with contacting our mechanics out on course and sending them across to you as soon as they can. Now, one of the key changes this year is we've pushed the start time of the 60 kilometre semi-fondo back to 7:15. So this is going to help spread out the crowds at Rex Lookout. It got a bit jammed up there last year. So the 136 and the 100k riders also starting 15 minutes earlier at 6:15, and the 48k riders are also starting 15 minutes earlier at 7 a.m. So please make sure you're on time or you risk missing your start. Now, the speed group start times are shown on the screen and also available in the ride guide itself. Now, the only road that is fully closed to traffic is Great Barrier Reef Drive. So while you're all riding on other roads, they are open to traffic and we need to obey all road rules. So please stay to the left and ride in the shoulder when there is one available. Don't ride any wider than 2 abreast unless you are overtaking. And please ensure when you do overtake someone, please do it on their right side. Now, Queensland Police, traffic controllers, event marshals and event officials will all be out on course and they're all there to keep you safe. So please follow their instructions at all times. Now, be aware that there will be official vehicles travelling in both directions along Great Barrier Reef Drive throughout the day. So please stay left and allow space for these vehicles to overtake you on your right-hand side. And also be aware of the riders around you and try to ride in a straight line without making any sudden turns or movements. We all need to look out for each other and call out anything that's in the way, a pothole or some fallen rocks on the road, etc. that might be in the riding path so that the riders behind you know what's ahead. Now, if you aren't a confident rider in groups, simply start at the back of your starting group from the start line and it'll spread out pretty quickly. As most of you are probably aware, we had Cyclone Jasper hit our region really hard last December and it brought with it flooding rain which caused extensive damage to many of the roads. And unfortunately, Great Barrier Reef Drive was one of the hardest hit with huge landslides taking out massive sections of the highway. Now, the good news is that the teams have been working day and night to repair these roads. And we now only have 3 sections of roadworks that we need to negotiate during the ride. Now, these sections are only 1 lane wide, so we'll be separating these into 2 bike lanes with cones and yellow tape. So as you approach each of these sections, you will see signs saying single file ahead and single file now. And we'll also have some marshals blowing a whistle to grab your attention as you approach. Can you please ensure you are riding in single file, one rider behind the other, before you reach the roadworks? And then ride safely through, taking extra care to stay left. Now, there's one section that is extremely narrow, and should we need to get an emergency vehicle through or our sag wagon through this point, we are going to have to stop the riders, and our marshals will be holding up a stop sign to ask you to briefly stop and allow these vehicles to pass through. It'll only be a brief time. Now, there's also some other areas that you need to take extra care out on course, and these include the descents down from Rex Lookout. So simply slow down and take it easy. Now, we are in the tropics, so there's always a chance of rain, but even if it does rain, it's still going to be 26 to 28 degrees, so it's all good. Now, if the roads are wet, please take extra care, especially on any descents, as the roads do become more slippery. We want you all to get around safely. Now, we've got Queensland Ambulance and a team from 1300 Medics who will be out roaming the course throughout the day. So if you do need medical assistance, please phone the number on your seat post sticker, and we'll arrange someone to come out to you, or just wave down the nearest event official and ask them for their assistance. Please let them know the seat post number of the rider needing assistance. Now, we obviously hope that we can all avoid any incidents and get around safely, but rest assured, we've got a great team there to look after you if something does happen. Now, aid stations, well, they'll be clearly signed, so you'll have plenty of notice that they are approaching. We'd really encourage you to stop, take in the views from these amazing destinations. All the details of the locations along the course are outlined in the rider information guide, and toilets are located at all aid stations. We'll also have water, Winners electrolyte, Winners energy bars, gels and chews. We've got fruit cake, banana bread, Leamington fingers, chips, bananas, oranges. They're all there at the aid stations. There'll also be some bins available there, so please ensure that you do dispose of any rubbish into the bins so that we can leave this beautiful environment exactly as we found it. Now, please note, when you ride up Rex Lookout heading towards Port Douglas, all riders wishing to stop at the lookout must follow the signs and pull off to the left to park your bike before then walking across the pedestrian crossing, and our marshals will direct you across. And also, don't forget we're running a photo competition at each of the aid stations. We've got Instagram frames at each location with the correct hashtags to use at each stop. Take your photos, quote the hashtags on the frame, post them to Instagram or Facebook throughout the day, and the best photos from each location will each win an amazing Pre-Max gift pack. And don't forget to make the post public so we can actually see the posts as well. Now, just a reminder that as you approach Port Douglas, you'll be making a right-hand turn off Great Barrier Reef Drive and onto Port Douglas Road for the final 5 kilometres of your ride. You will once again be on open roads, so please stay to the left and inside the bike lane. We must get Great Barrier Reef Drive open by 1:30 p.m. at the latest, so we'll have a sag wagon travelling behind our slowest riders. If it appears you're not going to make it in time, we may ask you to jump in the van and put your bike on the trailer, and we'll drive you to a spot off the highway so you can ride your final few kilometres into the finish line, or sit in the van until you get back to Port Douglas. So the final part of the ride, you'll be riding down Wharf Street towards the finish line, and what a spectacular location to finish the ride at Crystal Brooks Super Yacht Marina. One thing you may notice riding down towards the what you thought was the finish line, which is where the start line was, we've moved it. So just keep riding down the course. It'll take you around to the back of the marina, and that's where you'll see that our new finish arch has been installed there. So you'll come across the line, come around to the left, and please take care because there are a couple of speed humps just after the finish arch as you come around to the left, and we'll have some marshals there to remind you of those. Now, our volunteers will be there with your ice cold finisher's towel or a dry one, but most people elected for the ice cold towels last year and they threw them over their head to cool down. So grab one of those on the way through. We'll have plenty of water, winter's electrolyte, we'll have ice, we've got food, and so you can help you to recover. Roll through to the recovery area. We've got live music, we've got an outside bar open from 10, we've got tons of food trucks, cold drinks, lots of tables and chairs and extra shade. Now it's time to celebrate. Now, thank you for watching, and I want to wish you all a safe and enjoyable ride on Sunday. And thank you to our amazing sponsors, which we can't do without, especially the Douglas Shire Council, Tourism Events Queensland, Cairns Regional Council, Tourism Port Douglas Daintree, Tourism Tropical North Queensland, amazing team at Cairns Airport, Lexus of Cairns, Great Cars, and Triple M. We simply can't run this event without their support. But thanks also to the amazing team of volunteers who've given up their time to help us run this event for you. Now, I hope you've had a blast, and we hope to see you back here again next year between the 12th and 14th of September in 2025. And we've got some exciting news for you for 2025, but I can't tell you that yet. Watch out for the news on Monday the 9th, next Monday, when we officially announce our exciting new addition to the Port Douglas Grand Fondo Festival. Thanks again, and have a great ride.